All right, everybody, we are back for a brand new episode of Indie Film Cafe. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm your old pal, the Moo Cow, a.k.a. Paulie Presenza. How's it going?
All right, and we've got a special guest who's laughing right now. She's never been on the show before, but please introduce yourself.
My name is Lina. Hello.
Yay.
All right, yes, Lina's here. Lina and I have been friends for, 6 years or something?
Give or take, yeah.
Maybe 8 years, I think. No, 6 years. 6 years. Anyway, we've been friends for a long time.
Lina against the wall?
Yeah. Okay, mister. It took forever to figure out Danielle, the name Danielle. But all right. We're going to be talking about the 1994 film. Now, I picked this movie because you're a big, Lena's a big, Five Nights at Freddy's fan.
Yes.
And I wanted something cheesy and goofy that might make you laugh a little bit. I have no idea what Paul picked when we do his. I'm a little afraid of that.
Five Nights at Freddy Got Fingered?
No. Look, listen. If that were to ever happen, I hope the animatronics were to take the fingers.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Not in a good way. I'm talking about, you have none.
All right. Well, we're not going to be talking about that or any movie like that. We're going to be talking about the 1994 film Mosquito. I don't know if you've seen this, Paul, or not. But
no.
It's a very goofy creature feature kind of.
It looks like pterodactyl, though.
Yeah, it's a very big. Well, the cover is very misleading. Don't look at the back because that'll ruin some things. But the cover is very misleading. Trust me.
Gary Jones.
Yes, it's directed by Gary Jones,
Okay.
and so I'm really excited about it. Don't look at the back yet. Yes,
There are words on it.
there are, but there are also pictures.
Words that I don't know.
Maybe
Because I don't know how to read.
I don't think that's the case. But here we go. We are going to come back and talk about this movie after we listen to some mood music. And we are back. All right. So, Lina, this is your first time watching this movie. What was your thought on it?
Did you think it sucked?
Skeeter reference.
It's not bad, but it could have been better.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
That's a fair assessment. What about you, Paul? I mean, you've seen a lot of movies this. This isn't like...
This is a very formulaic kind of thing. But it was. I thought it was okay. It was kind of fun. It had some characters I liked. It had some characters I didn't like. The Skeeters were sort of fun.
Skeeters look like a jellyfish.
Yeah.
They're like flying jellyfish.
Sometimes they were puppets. Sometimes they were bad CGI from the period. But,
Yeah.
But it was okay.
It was okay. Well, that's fair enough. All right. So
Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I hadn't seen this in a while, and it was fun. It was kind of cute. It had good moments with some of the people, but
I thought it went on a little long. There's some scenes, I didn't really need the whole bonding thing. It was too late in the day for that.
Yeah, they should have done that earlier or whatever, but they did that at the end. So I'm going to give you guys some background into what these, these people have done and things like that. Then we'll get into the story, and then we'll get into everything else.
Who played Megan? She was cute.
All right, so we're going to start off with Gary Jones is the director and co-writer. He also directed episodes of Hercules and Xena. He directed the feature films Crocodile Tooth Death Swamp. So that's kind of cool that his first feature film had a crocodile in it for 2 seconds. But that was kind of cool. Or an alligator, whatever it was.
Chompy.
Are there alligators or crocodiles
Swamp puppies!
in the swamp? Is there a swamp
Gators,
in
but not crocodiles.
Michigan?
Swamp puppies is what they're called. They're called swamp puppies.
Not sweater puppies.
Swamp puppies, all right.
Swamp puppies.
So Crocodile to Death The Swamp Puppies. There you go.
Yes.
And then he did Jolly Roger, Massacre at Cutter's Cove, which we've already done, and Axe Giant, which I've done for the 31 Days of Indie Horror, which we may do on here too at some point. Tom Chaney co-wrote this movie, and he also wrote Frostbiter, Wrath of the Wendigo,
Nice.
and The Windwalker, and he's done other things. I think he's written a few other things too. So that was pretty cool. He Frostbiter and The Windwalker are two movies that he wrote.
Frostbiter's on my list.
Okay. I've heard of it. I have not seen it, but it's a Wendigo movie.
It's, yeah.
Is it bad?
It's fun.
Okay.
Let's put it that way.
All right. And then Steve Hodge, this was the only thing he wrote. So co-wrote. Maybe he was like, I'm done after this one. The cast included Gunnar Hansen as Earl the bank robber. Most notably, Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. Campfire
So
Tales.
that's where they got the money from.
What? From having him?
From the bank. They took it from a bank. I wasn't sure where the money came from.
Oh, yeah. They were supposed to be bank robbers, but they sort of mentioned that the banks had been robbed, but they never actually...
Yeah. I thought they meant drug dealers or gun runners. They could have been anything.
I mean, I did see the cash on the person.
Yeah, so there's no... They didn't show him robbing a bank or anything. They kind of did the Reservoir Dogs thing where they don't show the bank robbery, they just show the aftermath of the bank robbery. But he also was in Death House. Ugh. That's a rough movie. It was supposed to be a lot better than it was, and it turned out bad. Campfire Tales and Gimme Skelter, which we will do someday. It's like Marilyn Manson kind of thingy, but done in New Mexico.
Wait, Marilyn Manson or Charles Manson?
Charles Manson.
Okay.
Marilyn Manson. Big difference right there.
I was going to say.
Hey, he named himself after Charles Manson.
He named himself after Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson.
Yep. That's where he got it from. All right, so Ron Ashton was Hendrix, the park ranger. Did you know who that guy was?
He seemed familiar, but I couldn't place him.
He was from a band that you like.
Oh.
I believe you like. The Stooges.
Oh, yeah, okay.
See, Ron Ashton from The Stooges. He also acted in a movie called Hellmaster. He's also in your Frostbiter movie. And he's in a movie called Legion of the Night.
Okay.
Steve Dixon as Parks USAF Meteor Chaser. That's the whole full title of him. Parks. We just know him as Parks.
Our Ken Foree guy.
Yep. He's also acted in The Legion of the Night, Hatred of a Minute, and The Carrier, all filmed, I believe, in Michigan. Rachel Loisel as Megan, the new park ranger, which we saw her wearing the park ranger thing, but like she never did any park rangery things, or whatever.
She was trying to get to her job.
Yeah. She was also in a movie called Stone. And she will be in the sequel to this, Mosquito 2 Blood Fever, which has not happened yet. It's still in development.
Well, I'm glad she's coming back. I liked her best.
Yeah.
Hopefully... Never mind.
What? You want her to die?
I didn't say that.
Okay, good.
I did not say that.
Save the Pokies.
I liked her.
Not bad.
She was good. But she hasn't really done anything else.
I mean, she was very level-headed, and, when someone needed to get their nards kicked in, she did it.
Yeah.
And she wasn't afraid.
No, what I was trying to say was hopefully that this Mosquitoes 2 Blood Fever would be more so better than the first movie.
It should be. Generally speaking, this is somebody's first feature film. Now, even though Gary Jones has done special effects and other things...
You could call it Mosquito Bites and have it set at a Hooters. Where they're stuck there.
All right. That's enough. All right, Tim Lovelace as Megan's boyfriend. That's all they're called. Like, there's, but what was his name? He had a name.
Ray.
But on
Douche Bro is what I called him.
On IMDb, it's just listed as Megan's boyfriend. So I just wrote that. He was also in Legion of the Night, The Burning Dead, Koreatown, and Hanson's Island Revenge, and other things. He's actually had a pretty good, thing. run of acting. The other person I'm going to mention is Camper Steve, which was Josh Becker. He was the director of Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, Lunatics, A Love Story, and Running Time, which we've done all 3 of those movies.
Did it say who the girl was who got her butt sucked?
They did, but I didn't look it up because I didn't know which characters to keep as this. I should have. Because she also did nudity in the movie, which is the only nudity in the movie, which...
there's a few butt shots of guys.
There's a guy butt shots, yes. Yeah. But she was the only woman nudity.
I think Joe Bob calls them buffalo shots. I think that's the official term.
I wouldn't... Did you see that Jessa and Mel and all of them are working on the new thing?
I sure did.
That's awesome. All right. So sorry that we went into our own look.
No, you're good.
Nerd.
All right.
You're good.
We're just talking about a couple of friends of ours that are actually going out there and doing big things. They're part of Rhonda Shear's Scream thing, whatever and with Tiffany Shepis.
Tiffany Shepis.
I love her. My friend Tiffany once said, and she's a big time actress. She's done a lot of big B movies and stuff like that. She joked around and said, "This is the kind of guy I date," and pulled me to the side, and I wasn't in the conversation. Like I had no idea what, and she was like, "This." I was like, "All right, I could date Tiffany Shepis." Not that she's married, so I wouldn't, but I could have. Evil Dead 2 was also he acted in, Josh Becker.
Ooh, really?
Army of Darkness as well, usually playing a fake shemp.
There you go, fake shemp.
And he was also in his own web series called Spine Chillers. The cinematography...
Wasn't that a movie? Didn't somebody make a fake shemp movie the entire...
No, I don't, maybe.
They should.
As what, Spine Chillers?
No, so there's a thing called fake shemping, and it's when... somebody doesn't show up or something, but you need like an extra or something like that. You put them as a fake shemp.
So you put them in there, you hope that it looks somewhat kind of like that person, but it usually doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, cinematographer Tom Chaney. He also did the cinematography for Legion of the Night, Fractured, and Frostbiter. I can see like a sort of a trend with these guys. The composers are Alan and Randall Lynch. Randall did the music for Till Death Do Us Part, which is some movie with Brendan Fletcher as the composer.
Till Death Do We Part.
He also did The Curse, and they did Dracula Rise of the Vampire, which comes out this year.
That's interesting.
Editors are Tom Ludwig and William Schaefer. Tom, this is his only credit. William, you might know from movies such as Evil Spawn, The Phantom Empire, Terminal Force, and Roots of Evil. I looked it up. It is not a Killer Tree movie, and I am sad.
No.
Roots of Evil. Doesn't that sound like a great,
It does.
But it's not. It's not.
Killer Shrub.
Yeah. Killer Trees. Gary Jones worked on the special effects with the team, including the creature effects. From Wiki. So here's a little bit of background, too. From director Gary Jones originally planned for the film to revolve around a group of criminals, beginning with a large bank heist and ending with a violent shootout. But this was deemed too expensive. The script was subsequently rewritten by Tom Chaney, and the film's original title was Skeeters. Upon learning that a film named Skeeter, which had a similar concept about killer mosquitoes, was already recently produced, the title was changed to Blood Fever. During post-production, the film was renamed Night Swarm. That's a cool name, I guess.
Disgusting Mosquito is what it should be.
Except that they attack mostly during the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Disgusting Mosquito is what the name of the movie should have been.
Appearing as such in the April 1994 issue of Fangoria, before the title was later finally changed to Mosquito. The film was shot entirely in Michigan, near the city of Detroit. The effects of the film's mosquitoes were created through a mixture of stop-motion animation, which Paul saw, puppetry, and some shots such as when the swarm of mosquitoes is shown to be converging on the farmhouse were generating using traditional cell animation.
Yeah, you could see the strings on some of the mosquitoes at some point. That's one of the downsides about taking some of the older movies and having them upscaled into Blu-ray is that sometimes you see a little bit more than you kind of want to, and it'll make things kind of stick out.
Or even better, we now have a 4K television, and that's what we watched it on, and it does look a lot. I don't know. I like you can see more stuff with it, or
Plus,
whatever.
it's bigger.
Plus, it's bigger. We
I
got a bigger
wonder if that was actually Herschel's farmhouse.
I don't think so, because they did blow it up at the end, I think, or
They did.
something. So I think it wasn't, unless they recreated it for Walking Dead, because Walking Dead came out after.
Well,
this
and it's
movie.
funny. I mean, they anticipated Walking Dead, but they also anticipated that shitty Indiana Jones movie with the refrigerator bit.
So was that in the really
The
bad
skull
one?
movie, yeah, it
So
was.
maybe Steven Spielberg
Ripped off
this movie. Who
Gary
knows?
Jones.
That's funny. The mosquito that exploded when shot by Earl was a rubber puppet that contained the film's crew's leftovers from their lunch break.
Ew.
To simulate the
Yum.
insect's internal organs and fluids. The film's original special effects artist supposedly left the set during production to smoke cigarettes and never returned.
Wow.
So
They got eaten by the bugs.
yeah, maybe. The scene in which that would be an interesting idea for a movie is like where the you're making a movie with like all these fake things and they come alive and start killing everybody.
See, we did a roach movie earlier, so we've done some bug movies.
Yeah, and we did
Zombies.
no, but we did the other one as well. We did that what's the one that's coming out tomorrow? Crap, hold on.
That's a you thing, not a me thing.
Oh, I know all these things. The one that you picked. Crap. Well, we did The Nest.
Yeah, The Nest. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. So The Nest, we did that. So the roach movie.
Roaches all over the place.
And some were real roaches.
Ah!
Yeah.
No, I'm
We
good.
saved you from that one.
We saved you from that one.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'd rather watch Disgusting Mosquito over anything that has to do with roaches.
Well, I mean, and these weren't really that, like, well, I didn't think they were that bad, or whatever, compared to what we've seen, because we've seen real ones.
Yeah, we've seen some
Some
gross
real
stuff.
disgusting things, so.
But it was interesting, like where the proboscis goes through the eye and
That's why I said Disgusting
goes
Mosquito.
through the girl's butt, and yeah, the not that they're believable, but that's not really a thing. When you have a B movie like this, you just kind of roll with it.
The scene in which the RV crashes onto the side was created using a scale model of the vehicle. The spacecraft in the film's opening scene was also a model and was filmed using a forced perspective technique. The most expensive shot in the film was stock footage of a mosquito being born, shown in the opening scene. That footage was purchased for $1,500.
I'm
Wow.
not really sure what the whole point of the spaceship thing was, though. That didn't really matter.
That had to do with the meteor.
But you don't need that. It could just be any meteor, right?
Well, the meteor that they described it as was the radioactive.
But they're all going to be radioactive because they're all out in outer space.
True.
Yeah, so I don't know. Mosquito was intended to have a theatrical release in November 1994, but their distributors, Hemdale Communications, do you remember them? Were forced to file for bankruptcy before the release date.
Wow.
It was released on home video on May 20th, 1995. So it says 94 on like IMDb. I guess it's technically a 95 movie because it was released on home video in 95. The film was released on to VHS and Laserdisc formats, and in 1999 was released on DVD. This film was released on DVD by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. In 2004, copies of the DVD, let's see, and then Synapse Films reissued the film on DVD and released a Blu-ray edition, the one I have, October 13th, 2015, for the film's 20th anniversary.
And it's got extras
Yes,
and fun stuff?
let me bring this up real quick, and then we'll get into the story and all the rest of the fun stuff. Audio commentary with the director and co-writer Gary Jones, director of photography and co-writer Tom Chaney, and producer David Thury. Bugging Out: The Making of Mosquito, an all-new interview featuring interviews with an all-new documentary featuring interviews with director and co-writer Gary Jones, stars Gunnar Hansen, Tom Lovelace, The Girl You Like, Rachel Loisel, Mike Hard. Did he have Lemonade with him?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And Josh Becker, director of photography and co-writer Tom Chaney, and producer David Thury, and more.
Of course, it's weird that the front cover has the dude with the chainsaw, but it's not Gunnar Hansen. I don't know who that is.
No, that's supposed to be Gunnar Hansen.
That's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Doesn't look like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the beard.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like him in the movie.
Yeah, it looks a little different. Deleted and extended scenes featuring audio commentary with Gary Jones. Behind the scenes featuring optional audio commentary with Gary Jones. So behind the scenes footage and some other stuff. So it's got a pretty stacked thing, on it. I'm very happy.
I mean, I'm glad. I like when they kind of release all these old sort of B movies, but they're adding stuff to it.
Yeah. It's not just the movie bare bones,
Yeah, we people who like these kinds of movies love to have the background stuff.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I didn't listen to that stuff because I didn't want to watch it before I watched it. You get what I mean on that?
Yeah.
Sure.
But I wanted to, and I want to, I want to go with fresh eyes, just like you guys. Even though I had seen it years ago, I do remember renting this movie from Netflix. Back when they would rent DVDs and stuff like that, I rented it. And then when I was buying Synapse movies, I was like, oh, Mosquito. I remember that movie. And it goes to my collection with my Josh Becker stuff, all the Sam Raimi and those company movies. So
the Detroit Mafia.
Yeah. Lina, you'll understand. If you see that, you saw the Army of Darkness poster. And we are big Evil Dead fans here. We love
Swallow your soul.
I actually got to meet Sam Raimi, the director of Evil Dead.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I will say this. I have not seen any of the Evil Dead movies.
Really?
However, hold on. I have seen halfway through Evil Dead Rise, and it scared the crap out of me to where I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
And I had nightmares for 2 months from that.
We'll show you the Sam Raimi ones. They're better.
Still, they're better, but I'm just not going to lie. They are scary. The first one,
The first one, yeah.
So...
The other two are more fun.
Yeah, when I tell people, when people ask, because a lot of people always ask, what's your favorite horror movie? What's your favorite scary movie? And I usually say Scary Movie 3.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Scary Movie 3. But that's beside the point. But my real favorite, horror film is Evil Dead. And that's because, and then I say Scream after that because Scream got me back into horror films.
And of course, you have to qualify that because it's been remade.
Evil Dead, not Evil Dead the remake. So I do have to say 1981 or whatever, Evil Dead. But I absolutely love that movie. But it is scary. When I first watched it, I have we have a Dolby Digital sound system behind us, which was fun yesterday watching stuff, and I could hear things behind me, and I was like, oh, I forgot that happens.
See, the first one, the original one, they did pretty serious, and they made a serious movie out of it. It was good. It was especially for its time and for the budget, it was really well done. When he came back to remake it as Evil Dead 2, they put a little more slapstick and fun stuff in there because he's a big Three Stooges fan, so there's a lot more Three Stooges stuff. And when they got to the Army of Darkness, the third one, they just went completely crazy and did a lot of fun gags and goofy stuff.
Yeah, it just became comedy more or less.
So they're really more movie comedy horrors.
So went from horror to horror comedy to just comedy.
Yeah.
So it kind of did that. But then when they did the remakes and stuff, the one like the Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead 2016, I think it was, or something like that, it was more serious. Mm-hmm. It went back to the seriousness.
And then when they ended up doing the TV show,
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
That was kind of a mix. Because it had funny moments, but it had its serious moments too. But I thought it was really well done.
See, I know who Bruce Campbell is.
Yay!
So I do know who he is. But as far as Evil Dead goes, I've only seen Evil Dead Rise. Okay. And again, I only got halfway through before I had to cut it off.
We got so much to show.
Yeah, we got to show you some Deadite stuff.
We got more to show you. Don't worry, you'll be back.
Okay.
All right. So, can you explain to us what the story is about, or do you want one of us to do that? That's your choice. We leave it up to the guest. If they want to, we'll let them do it. Or if they don't want to, maybe we'll all take a crack at it.
The only thing that comes to my mind is disgusting mosquito. Okay, so basically, an asteroid or a meteor comes down on top of a mosquito nest and is pretty much mutated and radioactive, and they go out and search for humans to suck their blood, and yeah.
And it's kind of a love letter to the old 50s kind of things, because we know now that that kind of thing would never happen. Radiation would just kill them as opposed to turn them into super creatures, but,
But yeah, back in the 50s, everything was afraid that everything would...
Because nobody knew.
Nobody knew about what radiation would do to you, so they thought...
scary.
Yeah, so they thought it would just make everything giant.
Like in the 40s and radar, nobody knew what radar really was, but it sounded impressive, so radar was doing all kinds of goofy things.
Yeah, and that they wouldn't do. But nowadays, we have so much at our disposal that we know.
And it was interesting because in the 50s, that was the big changeover from the classic movies of like the 30s when you had Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman and the 40s and all that. The 50s is when you started to have the giant bug movies and the radiation stuff. So
like Killer Hornets, I believe that movie was.
I think I know that one.
It has to do with gigantic bees coming
like
out.
Them is one of the ones, and the giant ants was another one.
That's what it was.
And then that came through the 60s too, and then into the 70s where it became sort of the eco-disaster movies. They sort of came over, but a lot of those were also big, huge, giant things. So by the time this one's coming around, this is like a throwback to those kinds of films.
Right.
So that's why it's kind of like a fun B movie is kind of feel. And I was thinking it's got that Tucker and Dale versus Evil feel to it, where it's kind of like a fun sort of goofy horror comedy.
So Mosquito kind of reminds me of a little bit of the beginning of like Star Wars with the spaceship and the stars. Kind of reminds me of that with the Star Wars going on. And then it also reminds me of Aliens with the flamethrower.
Mm-hmm. A little bit like Aliens.
Yeah.
Except I'm glad that they didn't go full Alien and make their chick be like, Sigourney Weaver type thing.
I didn't really care for all of that. I didn't think it was necessary. It just just explained it by saying it's a meteor,
Right.
I did like the Mad Max stuff that was thrown in there. I was definitely seeing Mad Max vibes coming off of that whole thing with the RV.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. So there's basically this these alien this meteor, creates these giant mosquitoes who go and start just terrorizing the town in Michigan. Meanwhile, all these different people are sort of brought together on this journey. There's the couple, Ray and Megan, and they are on their way to Megan's job.
See, if it had been Megan 2.0, she would have just taken care of the mosquitoes all by herself.
Exactly. Well, we haven't seen Megan 2.0, but we have seen the first Megan.
Yeah, and I've seen
Have you seen the first Megan?
Commercial? No.
Okay. No. It's fun. It's child's play-ish kind of thing, but with like modern.
So I've seen it, I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. So then Megan and Ray are out there. So is this guy Parks. They run into this guy Parks, which really confused me on the name because, like I said, in the IMDb, it just lists him as Parks USAF meteor chaser, right? And so I thought that was like a park ranger, meteor chaser guy or something like that. I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Or what Parks is his name.
Well, in the movie, he also did mentions on how he does chase meteorites.
Yep. He was a meteorologist. And the guy made a joke, oh, you're a weatherman.
Yeah.
He's like, no, that's not a real, I'm a real meteorologist.
For the Air Force. And I was like, I don't think that's how it works.
I don't think so either.
No,
I was like...
Noah and
the
NASA
platoon.
and
Yeah, there's that platoon.
yeah, the platoon of park rangers.
Which was so weird because, like, Hendrix was the only one of that group, you know, that, like, went on. You know, all the rest, you never see them again.
I guess they all got et.
Oh, you did see his, that one guy's office all turned around and the deer head turned around, which you were like, what so...
You know me, I pick up details.
I know, but did you like that?
Yeah, I did like that.
Okay, so you liked a lot of the details in this movie. That was cool. So they did have, I mean, I don't know if they had a set... I'm sure they had a set guy or something.
There were no real bad continuity issues, other than the one time when they got in the truck or in the RV. They started off and it was light, and then all of a sudden it was dark. That got really dark really quickly.
I know, but like I think that just showed a passage of time. That did not bother me whatsoever.
It didn't bother me.
Yeah, I figured that was okay. It would have bothered me if it were daytime, then nighttime, then daytime again. That bothers me. Mm-hmm. But when it's like it gets there, all I just think of is they could have had it dissolve maybe, and then you would have realized, okay, it's been a couple. But they didn't. They just had it cut right to dark, and I was like, okay.
Only because it makes me feel that, man, they were miles and miles and miles and miles and miles from anything.
Maybe they were. I don't know. I have no idea.
I guess that's what they were when they made this movie. I guess that's what the mindset was to have it go from, like, a time lapse.
Yeah. Where it's daytime and then later you see it's night, and then now they have to deal with all these stuff during the night, which would make the night storm...
and it would have made it more sense because remember, even they say in the movie that they usually come out at night. That's when mosquitoes... Usually early morning and at night is when mosquitoes come out to feed. But most of that was happening during the day. So, but then she said that they were acting weird anyway because they weren't just eating to feed the brood. She said that they thought that they were just killing.
You're just killing things, yeah. Which that did seem to be the thing because they killed all of those people that at the campground, even though that guy sprayed everything, even the hot dogs, you know, which was a pain in the ass for me. I don't know. I was like, ugh.
Watch where you're aiming, that jerk.
I know. I think that's what the guy said, right? That was the line from the movie.
Make your sausage extra tasty.
I would not eat that.
Gross.
That is disgusting. You were already saying stuff about when Josh Becker went to go pee. That ill.
Hey, David, look what I got for you.
And I was like, just thinking about that. But yeah. So the idea that they're spraying this stuff to get rid of the mosquitoes, and it doesn't really work.
The fogger.
Yeah, and I think it's because they're mutated, so they don't really work like real mosquitoes, or whatever.
I mean, remember when we were younger where we had, like, the mosquito van come through to, like, spray the area? Mm-hmm. That's what kind of remind me of. And even then it didn't work.
It didn't work. What works is if you have, like, a spray on yourself and you can spray yourself, and mosquitoes
even those don't work.
Well, they used to work when it was with DEET, but unfortunately DEET also is poisonous to us, so can't use DEET anymore.
Well, damn. I was going to say something with DEET. Didn't work, so I just said damn, Okay, so
Indeed.
Indeed. Yes.
Indeed.
There
we go. Indeed.
So then, this thing, the guy, all of them got together, including, they end up, I don't know why, they thought, we can't just leave these two bank robbers on, that try to attack us and try to steal our shit, to be eaten by these things. Yeah. That's their problem.
In classic spam in a cabin mode, they have to have everybody there because they need extra people to get at.
Well, they need extra... Well, we would have saw that on our own anyway, but I think they needed extra people because they needed extra hands when they got to the farmhouse. So they needed at least one other person there to help them, through it. So it was good that they at least brought them to begin with, but, I mean, you weren't going to trust these guys? Like,
No.
like, what were you thinking? So they brought them, and they all go on the road trip.
Especially because that's the thing about Megan. She's always bringing things.
Bringing
dead
dead things,
yeah,
usually.
and then she's like, well, let's bring these two, too.
Can I bring this dead body in your car?
She's the kind of girl who's going to bring home, like, an animal that she finds everywhere. And now the house is loaded with, like, puppies and cats and squirrels. And
I told you. She is probably a necromancer.
Yes.
There you go.
Necromancer?
She's a collector. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, a necromancer would try to bring it back to life.
Yeah, I was thinking more of a necrophiliac.
No, that has to do with something. Ew, no, gross.
That's where my mind was going.
Popping for a cold one.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between.
Yes, there is.
No,
That's
God.
just where my brain went. I don't know. It's a really fucked up brain.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I've got those movies too.
Oh God, no. Necromantique or something like that.
1 and 2.
I won't watch that. Unless that's part of our extreme horror thing.
It is.
I don't know. Kate hasn't gotten back to me about anything lately. So.
And I got Der Toten King, so I have all of his movies.
Anywho, back to you. Anycow. We're going back to the movie. So they get in this RV that they steal from the campground. Well, that they'd already stolen from the campground.
Well, the guy was dead, so.
Yeah. So, and they go on their trip to basically.
They want to go to the city, which is the smart thing to do, but they just never get there.
They never get there.
Because the movie can't really have them do that, because once that happens, the movie's over. So.
Not to mention, the movie's also predictable.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's over. I mean, if they get to the city and the bugs still follow them, then that's still fun. Like, you get to the city, there's bugs in the city. You start just
That's movie 2, and then Bugs in Space is 3. That's the way it usually works.
But mosquitoes take Manhattan.
What was it that you said about the boat? About having the movie about
But when the boat was moving around, I'm like, it's the boat that's been killing people. It's an evil boat.
It's an evil boat. So you were
around.
saying you'd want a whole movie like that.
Yeah, where it just kind of flops around on land slowly.
Oh God, that reminds me of the rug movie, the carpet.
Right. Evil
carpet movie. Watch an evil carpet movie, and it just walks really slowly. And then the people are running, and oh my God, and then they trip. And then the thing still comes up and catches them, and it's ridiculous.
Kind of reminds me of Tires.
Rubber.
Yes.
Rubber.
Yeah, Rubber. That was such a goofy movie.
Love it.
That's a What the Fuck Friday, I think, kind of thing.
Mosquitoes breed in tires.
All right. So
that actually happened in the movie, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because the mosquito came onto the tire and popped the tire or whatever, right? And they ended up turning the RV over.
Yeah, the effects were pretty interesting. The puppets were okay, but obviously they had some full-sized ones that they were using. And they must have had a bunch of them, because there were a bunch that got kind of splattered,
Yep.
So, yeah, I wonder if any of those puppets survived.
Probably not.
Maybe. Because sometimes they keep extra ones, too, because
there's going to be a second one, right?
Right. So
I mean, if you're actually thinking about it, if you guys are talking about the explosive in the house, probably not.
Oh, no, not in the movie, but in the making of the movie as a prop.
Oh, yeah.
So what he's saying is he wonders if any of them, if any of the props of the mosquitoes have survived and are just in somebody's garage or somebody's shed or.
I mean, it would make sense for a Mosquito 2 to come out. So I
really hope they do that.
Unless they're doing it all digital, I'm kind of hoping they don't do that. I like the practical effects.
Yeah. Oh man, no, that would be bad.
Because sometimes. I didn't mind seeing the strings or some of the kind of.
But you hated the digital stuff, the really shitty.
Bad.
And I mean, it will look better today, but still look not nearly as good as the puppets that come.
Yeah.
I would like to have a puppet thing attack me. That'd be fun. I've never had a puppet attack me yet. That's gonna happen.
When puppets attack.
We got Puppet Shark that we're supposed to do at some point.
Yep.
There's a movie called Puppet Shark. It's bad.
Yeah, I wish it was more fun.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So then they get their RV tips over. They have to get to some kind of thing. They're still looking for the meteor or whatever, and they come across a farmhouse, which we call Herschel's farmhouse from Walking Dead. And they go in there, look around, and Hendrix is, because he's the comic relief, or whatever. But he's asked to go look inside the basement, and he doesn't want to. Of course, who wants to go look in the basement? But just, you got to make sure there's no mosquitoes down there. And so they go down there, and he doesn't go all the way in.
Apparently, the house or the farmhouse was haunted because we kept seeing stuff opening and opening up, and then
I don't know about that, but maybe because that's
the only thing that makes sense. Like, how are you gonna sit there and walk into a house, and then all of a sudden a cabinet just opened up mysteriously?
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to show with that, but that was interesting. And then he goes down to the basement.
It's like a red herring. He
looks in and doesn't see all of the eggs and stuff. He didn't go all the way down. But he looked enough where he was like, I guess there's nothing in here. And he went back up, and we see there's something back there. We just don't see everything. And then...
and we don't actually know his fate.
We assume...
We assume, but we don't actually see it.
We don't see... Did we see Gunnar Hansen die?
Not really.
We don't really see him die. We saw that he was in the middle of it where the timer was coming out and everything. But he was not... I was pretty sure he died.
Maybe... Well, here's my theory on this. If we're going based off of the end of the movie into the second movie might end up showing what actually happened to the others.
Hopefully. But I don't know who
That's just my theory.
Well, it won't be Gunnar Hansen. He won't be around, I can tell you that.
Well, he's sadly has passed away. No. Yeah, Gunnar was one of those guys I wish I had gotten a chance to meet when he was alive. Because from what I had understood, when you went to a horror convention and saw him, he was one of the nicest, sweetest men ever. And it's so funny that most of the really nicest... sweetest men in the business play evil villains, or whatever. Because it's acting, and they like to play that because they're not like that. So Sid Haig is very sweet, or was very sweet. King Hodder is nice, he's very down to earth.
David Rashawn.
Well, she's not a villain, though. She's never played it. She's played villains before, but...
Lady Fairburger.
Tony Todd,
who
just passed away last year. Damn. And yeah, a lot of these great people have passed on, and I'm happy. Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, one of the nicest guys.
Isn't he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
We'll have to show you Killer Tongue someday.
Killer Tongue. It's exactly what you think it is.
It's an evil tongue that kills people.
First they have teeth, and now they have... okay.
Yeah, there was a movie called Teeth. Now there's...
Welcome to our world of weird movies.
Wacky movies. There's also a movie we haven't done yet where... was it a big schlong kill somebody?
What?
Oh, I've got that one too.
Oh, yeah. I got that one too as
Welcome home, Brother Charles.
What? Oh, my God.
Yes, it's a big black cock that just kills you.
No.
That's not...
And we did the Evil Boob movie.
Which one?
The bra, remember?
Oh, yeah. Did Killer Bra.
Yep,
I think
Killer Bra. We did Killer Backpack. We did Attack of the Killer Donuts. We've done all kinds of stuff. And I just got my Evil House of Pancake movie.
Yes, I saw that.
I can't wait for that.
Evil House of Pancakes.
Isn't that like a Waffle House?
It's kind of like a house of pancakes, but an evil one.
That kills people and eats them.
Like, okay.
Don't. Sometimes it's better to just watch them, and then you're like, okay. Because we also did Killer Condom.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that one was kind of goofy.
Yep.
We've done tons of these.
These are the movies we watch.
Oh, boy.
Zombievers.
as Zombievers. It's Zombie Beavers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Fun.
Yeah. A friend of mine, I don't know if you really know her, Courtney, but was in it, and she did a great job. We loved it. She loved us because our review was, very, very nice, but the one thing we said is we didn't like that an animal died and stuff in the movie, and those always suck. But it was so fake looking. You could tell it was not it,
and Blood Marsh Raccoon with the little...
Well, that was the one Tina wanted.
Evil mutant raccoon babies that come out and attack you.
Speaking about animals, I heard... Now, I've never seen the movie, but I heard of a really, really ridiculous name for a movie.
What is it?
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Now there's Cocaine Shark, Cocaine... Mm-hmm. They haven't done Cocaine Zebra yet. I want to see that.
They did Bath Salt Zombies, though.
Yeah. There's a ton of different, these, trust me, we have so many.
And we have most of them.
Yeah.
Between us.
Yeah. If I don't have it, Paul probably has it. If Paul doesn't have it, I probably have it, or we both.
It's our kingdom of shit.
I know. Well, it's so funny because I'll look at his collection and be like, damn, I have this movie too. And Paul's like, yep.
Yep.
So... That's just normal for us.
If it stinks, we have it.
If it stinks, this is the temple of stink.
The temple of stink.
Yeah.
Welcome.
You were already looking around going, oh my God, look at all your movies. So
yeah, there's a lot of movies. The one that I see that just caught my eye is Humans vs. Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's also Ninjas vs. Zombies.
Vampires vs. Zombies.
Vampires versus made by the same people. There's Monsters vs. Zombies, which I don't think either of us have.
Pancakes vs. Zombies?
No, there's not. Don't lie. Now you're
I'm gonna make that one.
Yeah, that's the one you want. Pancakes vs. Zombies. They're just so silly. And this movie in itself, Mosquito, is just...
It's that vein of just fun, goofy stuff.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's dumb. It really is dumb.
Dumb. It's dumb. But it's fun.
Yeah, it's
dumb fun.
It's turn your brain off and enjoy kind of a film.
Yeah, and I think that's the main reason I picked it for you, because, you like kind of silly, with Five Nights at Freddy's, it seems a little silly and kind of fun, and kind of not taking itself too seriously and things like that. And it was either between this or what was one of the other ones I was going to do one that I do want to show you at some point because it is kind of similar. It's called Tourist Trap. It's from Full Moon, but it's a little bit too serious. And that to me, that kind of sometimes takes the fun out of it. Like when this happens, it's not, you can tell they're like, let's just throw everything and onto the table and see what sticks, kind of thing.
Yeah, like our friend Just Jen, she doesn't really like scary movies. So when we show her movies, they tend to be crappy ones, really crappy ones, but nothing really scary.
Yeah, we actually created a whole series called What the Fuck Friday, just to be where ones that we can't show Jen.
Yeah.
Those that's why we created it. And then we actually showed Jen one of them once, and
God, which one was that? I forget.
It was it's like the
wasn't
Zoo.
Greasy Strangler, was it?
No. It was the Zoo Warrior one.
Oh, yeah.
She liked that one.
That one was weird, but fun.
That was weird, but fun. He likes to do these, really Japanese, weird-ass, temple Shaolin monk things, and stuff. And it's just, they're just so weird. People, float through the sky and, attack each other. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat, but, where they got the idea from, I think. Raiden reminded me.
Yeah, they're wushu films is what they're called. Yeah.
They're very fun. But those are just weird as fuck.
Yeah. Greasy Strangler, you'll have to see. That you definitely need to see.
Definitely have to check it out.
Yep.
All right. Well, we're getting close. So, is there any last things that you wanted to say? Was there anything that you felt about this movie?
I think if you like the Detroit Mafia movies and that group of guys, I think you're going to enjoy it. I think this is kind of right up their alley. It's pretty well done. It's well acted. All the production values are there. Yes, it's got some low budget stuff, but that kind of goes with the territory.
With the territory, yeah, that's it.
And as long as you're willing to suspend your beliefs about certain things, I think you'll have a good time.
What about you?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. It's dumb. I'll say that. It's very dumb. But for those who are really into dumb comedic movies that has a little bit of gore in it, I definitely recommend it.
Sweet.
Although, if as a comedy, it didn't have as much comedy in it.
To me, it had some comedy.
I thought it was kind of funny. It had moments where I laughed. Like, there was parts where I know she laughed her butt off at that thing. So, like, they were more meant for her, maybe, than for your kind of comedy, taste. I thought there was some bits where I actually cracked up, too, because, stupid stuff, like somebody would say something and then something would happen and then,
It's like, okay, so what made me really laugh was when they were saying about calling the police, before they even said calling the police. And I'm over here, like, thinking to myself, just call the police already. And then when they as soon as they mentioned the word police, I started laughing.
Yeah, because
it's predictable.
Yeah.
It's
that's where you're supposed to go. Like, that's what you're supposed to do next. Like, you see a dead body floating. We forgot to mention that guy. The fisherman floating, and there's a crocodile that came up. But then the two fishermen one of them got eaten in the boat, and the other one in the swamp. The one in the boat, had dried up or whatever, and you see a body like that. The first thought isn't, let me examine the body.
Poke it with a stick.
Poke it with a stick. My first thought would be, call the police.
Let's take it home with us.
No!
But that's what Megan wanted to do the whole time. And let's take this mosquito. Can we take it?
Very, very cute, but a little on the creepy side.
Yeah, I don't know what she does in her spare time.
The Hendrix fogging everybody, that was probably the funniest moment for me.
Which one? When he's just spraying everybody. and then he gets on the food and all the other stuff. Oh my god, just drove me crazy. But I think that about wraps it up. I mean, I don't think there was
time
much
for the
more.
stinkometer.
So we have this thing called the stinkometer. Now I've explained it to you, but I've got to explain it to everybody else that's at home, the folks at home. And so it's a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being very, very good, 10 being very, very stinky and bad. We can do 10 plus if it were that bad, but I don't think that would be.
I don't know that this is that painful.
Yeah, that would be something very bad.
Trust me, we'll find you a 10 or 10 plus, and you'll know the difference. You'll
know the difference. But right now, there's also 0.5, so you can do 5.5, 6.5 as well. So, and then what we do is we tally all those up at the end of the year. That'll be end of next year. We tally it all up, and we see where on the ladder of stink it falls on, for the season and everything.
So if you get a 30, you've already ascended to stinky heaven.
Because
with all the stink angels.
Yeah. But sometimes you get something in the middle, sometimes you get something early. I mean, whatever. It depends on how well people receive this movie. So I'm going to start with Paul because Paul's a pro at this and everything. So what do you say?
I'm going to say 4.5.
4.5 for real.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually a lot smaller than I thought you would go. Okay. You want to go next?
I would say it's about a 6.5.
6.5, so 4.5 and 6.5. I was actually going to go with a 4. I was going to kind of go with that. So 4.5, 6.5.
15.
Yeah, it's a 15. It's kind of in the middle, of stinky and not stinky, So it kind of feels like that's the perfect place to be.
I would say.
But let me see if I can find any ones that actually are 15. If we have any other 15s this past season.
I'm pretty sure we have 1 or 2.
We have. I just don't know where. Attack of the Killer Backpacks was a 15.
There you go. Evil backpacks.
Evil backpacks and evil skeeters seem to go hand in hand. Vigilante is a 15.5, almost 15. Let's see. That's all for last season, I guess. Wait. Yeah, I think that's all for last season. That got a 15. 14.5 for Oversexed Rug Suckers from Mars. So that got less than this.
That was the vacuums.
That was Killer Vacuums from Outer Space.
What is everything up with anything that has to do with killers in outer space. Killer clowns from outer space. Killer, what was it?
Oversexed rug suckers from Mars. They didn't even do outer space. They just went from directly to Mars, which didn't really make much sense. But
outer space.
Yes, they went to outer space.
These are the movies we watch.
These are the movies we watch. I like them. They're so goofy. And like I said, I wanted to do this one because it had the connection to Josh Becker and Sam Raimi and all those guys. Because the Detroit Mafia. Because we love those guys. We love those groups of people. So. And
I don't know how much longer we're going to have the Detroit Mafia. They're all starting to age out.
Legend of Six Fingers was 15. Really? We all went with that low of a score? The Legend of Six Fingers was the Sasquatch movie that Sam Qualiano did. Mm-hmm. I'm still surprised.
No, we haven't done a Sam Qualiano movie in a while.
He's only done a few. He's done Snow Shark, he did that, and I think he did one more.
Snow Shark, he hides in like 3 inches of snow.
It's a shark that is in the snow.
As you do.
My friend Jackie was in it. It was not that great. But it was so boring to John Johnson that he had to create a better idea for a movie.
He did.
And he did.
Shark, you son of a bitch.
Shark, you son of a bitch. Yeah, so those are the ones I can think of right now that are 15. So it sort of goes to show you what else we've done that, with the titles. That Spectacular Killer Backpacks is just silly, and it's literally killer backpacks. They go, whoop, 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 start killing people. Not like...
Where are backpacks from? Walmart? Target?
France.
It's a European movie.
It's like France or something.
They're different in Europe.
Is French, right? Is a French movie?
German or French?
German
I
or
forget.
French, something like that. Because so was Killer Condom was also German, I believe. So they just think they think outside the box. In fact, they think so much outside the box that they blow the box up. That's what the international people do.
No.
Killer boxes from outer space.
Hold on. Here's the box, right?
Right. Yeah.
This is where the movies are.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, far away from the box.
Yes. And that's what Paul likes, because Paul does not like Hollywood like stuff where it's superheroes or boring shit to him, Mission Impossible 12, like after a while he gets bored and he's like, I want something more that's different, that's interesting. That's why he likes Tom Cruise in that Magnolia. Because that was really a different Tom Cruise than you've ever seen him before. Where he's talking about pussy the whole time. That's all.
Oh my God!
That's what he says. I'm not like. That's just that. He starts saying these weird shit and stuff, and it was funny. It was like, that's Tom Cruise. Like, all right,
And they all sing at one point.
But he doesn't. I don't think.
Oh yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, he sings at the end.
Yep.
Okay, you might like it then. I don't know. You like singing.
It's a really good movie.
There you go. But it's Kevin Smith hated it. So.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
You know it?
No.
Like so there's a bit in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back with Magnolia Fan, and it was like some guy who calls himself Magnolia Fan. There was a real person on the View Askew board that went on and on about how great Magnolia was after Kevin Smith shit on it. Said it was the most boring 3.5 hours of his life. I think since then he's watched it again, and maybe his thoughts have changed. But I think that when he first saw it, he was really bored by it or something, and he talked about it in a review, and people went after him, and this guy started saying his movies were shit compared to Paul Thomas Anderson's and blah blah blah.
Not really the same level.
They're not the same. They're not the same type. No. They're not. They're different things. But anyway, he did that. And
I love me some Kevin Smith, but he's not Paul Thomas Anderson.
Well,
are we talking about the same movie that Steel Magnolia?
No.
That's a completely different movie.
No.
Magnolia is basically a 3.5 hour movie about all these different characters, and somehow they all converge at the end, I think, and it all kind of makes sense. But they're all these different characters doing these different things, and it's weird. It's sort of weird at times, and it's. I will admit, the first time I watched it, I kind of got bored because it's too long. Like that's the problem with Paul Thomas Anderson. And you even said this newest one, that was his biggest problem too, was it's too long.
It's a little long.
Yeah, and he needs to cut his shit down, but
I want to show that one to either Rachel or Jolene because they haven't seen it, and I'm sure they would
Magnolia?
like it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Jolene hasn't seen it. That seems like something right up her alley.
She doesn't really watch movies.
That's right. So, but anyway, so this was your first time here.
Yes.
Will you be back?
Absolutely.
You better be. We're doing another one right after this. So
Don't expect Hollywood.
It is
not for this show.
Not for this show. This is the farthest from Hollywood you're probably going to get. And I think Mosquito was a good one to break you in.
Yeah, you're in the shallow end right now.
Yeah. Trust me, when whatever Paul has next, it's not going to be that.
It ain't the shallow end.
No.
But don't worry, I'm not throwing you in the deep end quite yet.
Not yet.
I mean, honestly, I've seen some pretty movies that have been way, way out there, so it can't be worse than we've already picked.
I don't know.
I'll show you Miss Werewolf someday.
He you know what? Paul always says, hold my beer. Because he will go, if you say it can't be worse than, he will find it.
Just you wait.
He will find whatever can be worse. That's the thing. He does, I make problems sometimes. I'll say, there's no way you could show me a 10 right now, and you're like, hold on a second, let me, I can find one 2 seconds, and so that's why the first time we got all of us got a 10 together, including our first co-host Just Jen, who was there for the first season. We picked a Neil Breen movie, and we finally all agreed it was a 30. Right? And so that was our first 30, and we were so excited about that. And then Just Jen leaves, and I come back with Paul. It's just us together, and he shows me a terrible movie called Actium Maximus, and it's just awful, right? But I was like, there's no way he's going to show me a 10 on the first, a 30 on the first day of coming back into this thing. And he did, I guess, but I said there's got to be worse movies that he's going to pick this year.
Part of the Blood Llama.
And there were bad movies. Like, we did do another Neil Breen movie that year. That got a 30. I think, was that the only other 30 at that time? Because I think later we did
a bunch of 29s. We came close.
We came very close in the second year. So, and then the third year I was up in L.A., moved up to L.A., and that's when things kind of changed because of Zoom and other stuff. We were able I was able to do stuff in LA with him, and we still continue that. So there's going to be Zoom movies that I will do, but
it's fun doing them here in the studio with people who can have snacks and hang around, and they can't run away, and they're forced to watch them.
Yeah, or we can't see them fall asleep. Like, I did one review with a girl, and she told me she fell asleep through the movie. And I was like, how are you going to review the movie? And she's like, I've seen enough. So that's what we reviewed. So it was Killer Mermaid. Oh, I didn't think it was, fall asleepable, but,
Well, there's like a million of those.
Yeah, no, it was literally called Killer Mermaid.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I almost fell asleep during the intro of Mosquito. But that's because of the fact that I was like, oh, I already know how this is going to go. And then as soon as I got to the more into along the line, I was like, wait a minute, I'm awake now. Hold on.
Paul toward the end, especially when they're talking and they're kind of giving them, you kind of started to fall asleep a little bit. We could tell you were a little
stuff slowed down.
Yeah, stuff slowed down, and I think they had to do that to fill the time to finish the thing or whatever. But they didn't have enough characters where everybody could just get eaten, and whatnot, and continue this. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be action every 2 seconds. A lot of bickering. And fighting, but that didn't even seem to bother you, so that was good.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I will say, my favorite scene is where they had, when they were first investigating, and all the dead bodies, and then you see the boat.
Yeah.
That whole scene was my favorite, simply because of the boat.
Yeah, the boat just moving.
I'm like, oh, there's a mosquito under there.
Why was he moving anyway? He could have just stayed still, but he was just pushing it. It was so weird. Oh well, anyway,
maybe because of the fact he was so cramped up to
Hendrix,
where he had
be a
him.
red herring for us.
Yeah, he was supposed to look like a mosquito that's in there. We're supposed to think it's a mosquito that's gonna jump out and scare everybody. Turns out to be him. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun.
Did that bug you?
It did bug a little bit.
It did bug you,
but it didn't suck.
It didn't suck that bad. Yeah.
Did it leave a mark?
Jesus Christ, you're getting her to do this now. Too. Oh my goodness. No, stop.
Are you itchy?
Bite me. That's a movie.
Yeah,
we watched it.
We did that. That was
a bug movie too.
That was the movie that we did because Jen couldn't do it. So for What the Fuck Friday.
I know we did it. We did it for us. We showed it to Jen.
No, Lust for Dracula.
Lust for Dracula is the one. Yeah, that's a different
Bite
kettle
Me
of
was
fish.
the one we showed.
Yeah, that's with Misty Monday.
Yeah, both of them were with Misty Monday. That's why I think I got it mixed up. But you're right. What the Fuck Friday had Lust for Dracula, which if you hear that title, you're going to think, oh, no, it sounds like a porno or something. But it's almost pornish, It's got a lot of naked girls running around the whole time.
As you do.
Just like how he thought at first that Mosquito was going to be furry porn.
Yeah, very porn. There you go. That made you laugh out loud, really loud. So there you go. All right, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys thought. If you guys had seen Mosquito, also, let us know your thoughts on Mosquito. If you liked it, didn't like it, whatnot. We're really excited. And thank you, Lina. You'll be back. So everybody get ready for that. Until then, everybody, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
And inclusion.
Do we?
We do.
Say something. I'm already recording.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
Ooh, that's actually loud. Hold on. No, not that. You're pretty good. We've got people here who we need to get the thing closer. I don't think we need that for you. So
no, I can actually project.
Good.
Large floppy horse penis.
Okay. That's his go-to one. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, testing. 1 2 3.
Mew.
Pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.